Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Act with Purpose, the podcast. We are looking forward to chatting with everyone. To my right, we have Mr. Adam Shupruck. And over to my left, we have actor Logan Aultman. And here, as always, myself, John Stevens. And running sound, we have to give a tip of the hat to our operations manager and guru of technology, Mr. Adam Thumb Pedal. So today we're going to be talking to Logan, who's had a couple of really big projects that just got released. Congratulations,
Thank you.
First of all. So the first one, let's chat about Homeschooled, because you just went. Now, was that what you went to Los Angeles to help promote and that sort of thing, or was that?
No, that was
for Snow Day.
Yeah.
Awesome. And how was that trip?
It was really amazing. It was great to go see everyone again, besides just seeing them on set and chat with all of them about how the movie turned out. Yeah.
How long of a turnaround was it? So when did you shoot the film, and then how long did it take before it was premiere time?
We shot it around early 2021, and
Wow.
it came out around late 2022. So I think that is a pretty reasonable time for a movie.
Especially during COVID.
Yeah,
Holy
during COVID,
cow.
yeah.
So you shot right in like the thrux of the COVID epidemic. What was that like?
So there were a lot of COVID tests every 2 days, and obviously wearing masks all the time. But other than that, after getting used to it a little while, you could barely notice that you were wearing a mask.
Amazing.
Yeah, the set was so comfortable. And
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about Snow Day.
well, Snow Day, it's a musical. It's about some kids who go on an adventure to stop Snowplow Man from plowing the roads. And it's really fun. It's for the whole family. It's really funny.
Good. Excellent. And so it's a musical. Do you sing and dance in the movie?
I don't sing, but I do dance at the end of the movie. Yeah.
Fantastic. And is that your first time doing more of a musical kind of a production, or have you trained in that?
I have never trained in musicals before, so it was definitely a new experience.
Were you terrified?
Yes, I was absolutely terrified because I had no musical experience whatsoever. But
Oh my
it turned
gosh.
out great.
Awesome. Well, it looks great. We saw the previews, and oh my gosh, we were in love with it in like a second. We were like, oh my gosh, this looks like fun.
Yeah, it is.
And it
really
looked
fun.
like it was a fun set to be on. Did you make some good friendships?
Yeah. The other two kids who are in it, Michaela and Dominic, they were really fun to work with, and they were right around my age, so we became friends really fast.
Now, are these the ones that were on the plane with you when you were going down for the preview?
No.
Who was with you?
Destiny and Monique, who
Fun.
played Claire's friends in Snow Day. Yeah.
Awesome. Very, very good. Oh my gosh. So you've got so many different projects going on.
Yeah.
Tell me, what got you first interested in acting? Why did you pursue this?
Well, I had done some modeling when I was around 5 years old, and I decided to start doing commercials, and I really liked those, but I didn't like the modeling part so much, so I left. And then when I was around 10 years old, I realized I really liked the performing aspect of it, so then I decided to go back into acting.
Fantastic. Very cool. So what kind of training have you had to kind of get you ready for these roles?
Well, I always am taking acting classes with LeBlanc and Act with Purpose and Armstrong and a lot of those schools.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that those have really helped me see different points of views of different acting schools and different coaches.
I'm so glad you said that, because I feel like a lot of people get stuck at one school
Yeah.
and then they don't explore and learn different techniques. And something that, we've always talked about here is that we encourage people to go out and try other schools, try other coaches, because staying in one spot, you only learn that one culture, right? But by going out and learning from multiple different types of coaches and directors, I think there's a lot to be said for it. So good for you. It sounds like, and is that just something you came up with on your own, or it just happened over time, or?
Well, yeah, I always thought it would be important to train with different coaches and see different points of views because, there's not one right technique, there's not one wrong technique, and different techniques could be applied to different projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
I got a question. Me coming in from the darkness, I'm recording my own voice right here. What would you say is your technique, Logan? Like, what has worked for you?
I definitely like working in comedy. I feel like that it definitely helps me a lot, and it definitely feels more free. And I am always happy to work in comedy, and I feel like that's my strong suit.
Amazing. So when you're auditioning, how do you let go after the audition? Do you get precious to certain projects and think, oh, I really want this one. This is such a good role for me.
Yeah.
How do you audition? Because I think that that's a common thing for actors is like you audition for something, you get so heart set on that project or that character or that scene that you just think, oh, God, I'd love to film that, right? How do you let go so that you can focus on the next project?
Yeah, so occasionally there is a scene that I think would be really cool to film, but I just occasionally, like, filming a self-tape can be really stressful. So I feel like handling that stress and thinking about how it would be more nerve-wracking and more stressful to be on the set actually filming that scene.
Right.
That helps me let go of it a little bit.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And how do you handle the, R word rejection? How do you handle that?
Well, I mean, there's always going to be other opportunities. And just because you get rejected for one thing doesn't mean that you're not going to get anything else. It doesn't mean that you're going to be blacklisted or anything like that. It just means that you weren't right for that project or they wanted somebody else for the project. It's nothing against your acting. You still could have done a great job. Maybe you just didn't have the look they wanted. So it's not always a personal thing.
Yeah, good for you. How does your family play a role in that, helping you like stay grounded and that sort of thing? Has acting kind of impacted your entire family in a way?
Yeah, I guess it's brought us closer together a lot because we're like my parents are always helping me out, driving me to auditions and driving me to set and chaperoning me on sets. So it definitely helps to know that they're supporting me in my endeavors.
Mm-hmm. Parents, the original Uber.
Yeah.
Right? Constantly. Yeah. When you're working with your scripts, does your family like to get involved? Do they help you with your scripts and your auditions?
Yeah, especially my mom. She helps me out a lot, and especially with being a reader for my self-tapes and helping me out, giving me some advice on my scripts as well. Mm-hmm. It definitely helps out a lot to get the point of view of someone who would be watching a movie rather than being behind the scenes.
Nice. Okay. Interesting perspective. Very cool. And what other projects do you have going on?
I don't have anything going on right now, but hopefully soon we'll see if there's a second season for Homeschooled.
Yeah, we're all hoping, right?
Yeah.
So where can people see Homeschooled?
So Homeschooled is on CBC Gem, and it's free, so you just go on the website and you can watch it.
Very cool. Awesome. So we'll have to check that out. And then Snow Day is premiering all over, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. And where can people see that?
Snow Day can be seen on the Paramount Plus channel on Amazon Prime or on the app. and it can also be seen sometimes on the Nickelodeon channel.
Very cool. Well, that's exciting.
So also, I've got a question. So during the pandemic, obviously a lot of things changed with filming and also with just the rehearsal process and everything. When you were doing the table read for Snow Day and also Homeschooled, how did that change? Was it virtual? Was it in person?
Yeah, so the table read for Snow Day was virtual.
Oh, cool.
And it definitely made me more nervous to go on set because I hadn't met any of them in person. It really wasn't the same as an in-person table read because sure I had gotten used to doing the table read virtually, but then once I got to set, then I forgot all the stuff I was supposed to do for the scene. So because you're not having that like chemistry and flow of talking to someone in person. It's virtual, so it can definitely be harder to connect in a scene when you're doing a virtual table read.
I could definitely see what you mean by that. Like,
Yeah.
I know firsthand, like, I went through a similar experience during COVID with filming, so I know where you're coming from with that. But it teaches you definitely very valuable skills as an actor, for sure, to be
Yeah,
able
it
to,
does. Yeah.
for sure.
How has acting impacted your friendships?
Well, some of my friends are really supportive of my acting, so
Some.
that yeah, and some of them are not so much. But I'm not really one for sharing, like bringing it up in a conversation first thing. So that definitely helps a lot with the ones who aren't so fond of it. So I can still have nice conversations with them without having to bring up acting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're respectful of those kinds of
Yeah.
situations. It is hard, and especially with somebody like yourself who's really enjoying quite a bit of success. And like you've had a kind of an embarrassment of riches the last couple of months with so many things kind of all coming to fruition all at the same time. It's got to be hard, and I'm sure there's got to be some jealousy and some things that can make it difficult to kind of navigate, especially as a young person.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, being a young teenager in school, as it is, has its own, interesting dichotomy of perils. But you seem to navigate it very well, and you seem very at ease with it. Where does that come from? How do you...
Well, it definitely helps right now, especially since I'm kind of in a break. I haven't gotten that many auditions, so it definitely helps to take a break from all that and focus on my schoolwork.
Yeah. Good for you. And what role does your agent play in all of this?
Well, my agent, Miriam, has been really helpful with all of my auditions and all of my bookings. She's always making sure that I'm getting treated equally and I'm getting the pay I should, and especially with credits with Snow Day.
Yeah.
She made sure I was in the credits, so I'm really grateful for that.
Great. So she really fought for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great agent. Nicely done. And when you were out in Los Angeles, tell me about like what were the activities you were able to kind of do with the Snow Day premiere?
Yeah, so it was great not just being there for the Snow Day premiere, but also doing a bunch of other activities. Like we got to hang out with some family friends, which was nice.
Excellent.
And
they're also from the industry, right?
yeah, they work in the industry and they have experience in the industry. So that has definitely, they gave me some advice while we were there, and it was a really nice time. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. What else did you get to do while you were there?
We went, obviously, to tourist attractions like Universal Studios.
Gotta do it, yeah.
We did the Warner Brothers tour as well.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, very good. Awesome. When you're kind of talking to somebody else who's maybe around your age and they're interested in getting started in the industry, what advice do you have? You talked about how you got some advice. Do people come to you for advice?
Yeah, so I would definitely want to give the advice of even as you said about rejection and stuff like that, there's always going to be other opportunities, and never take it personally again. And you should always be able to let it go and move on, and not dwell on it too much.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any funny audition stories? Something weird that happened, or something that you had to do that was weird?
Well, I don't know if this would be exactly considered funny, but it was a little strange. Was definitely my more unique audition experiences was this one series that I was auditioning for a year, and I just kept getting auditions for it over and over and over, and it was kind of so whenever I got an audition around that time, this was when I was starting acting, I could kind of expect what it was going to be for, and it was I did get a part in the series.
Great.
So that was one of my first big parts in Odd Squad, but it was just I wasn't sure actually if I was gonna actually book a part in the series, because when before I booked it, they were going to end the series. So it was actually it was nice to book a part in the series that I'd been auditioning for so long.
Right,
and,
finally.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And be a part of it before it ended.
Yeah, and casting director Larissa Mayer, right?
Yeah.
Nice, awesome, very good. Yeah, so I think so many kids came up through the ranks on that show.
Yeah.
Brendan Hurd, and it's interesting that like people still talk about that show a lot. It was a really, really well done show.
Yes.
And I think that's the show that won a ton of Emmys too, just in terms of educational material. Neat.
Obviously, during the pandemic, going back to talking about how we really kind of shifted everything into virtual mode, what has been the biggest thing for you switching over to doing, have you had much experience doing in-person versus virtual? How do you feel about the entire idea of everything being over self-tapes right now?
Well, it definitely helps with self-tapes because you don't have to worry about messing up. You can just keep doing it over and over. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I definitely have not had as many in-person experiences as I have virtual experiences. But I'm kind of glad for that, because the virtual experiences have definitely helped me. It definitely helped me when I was starting acting to learn what it was all about before I went into in-person.
True. I feel like definitely helps to be able to just be like, okay, this is exactly where we're going in the direction of where the industry is going right now. So it helps to have that insight for sure.
So was Odd Squad one of your first gigs?
Yeah, that was my first series role.
Awesome. What's been your favorite project to work on?
Definitely Homeschooled.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And why?
Even though it was a shorter time than Snow Day that I was working on it, it was a really great environment, and as I said, I love working in comedy, and Homeschooled was 100% a comedy. So it definitely was great to work on that, and it was just the actors too that I was working with were really fun to work with, and everyone was so nice. It was great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, have you had improv training?
A little bit. I'm still working on my improv, but I hope to get better in the future. I'm not quite there yet, but there's always room for improvement.
Wow, an actor who's actually modest. I'm not used to this.
So, has there ever been a moment in Homeschooled or Snow Day where they just turned to you guys and the director was like, just improv?
Not really, actually. They were pretty script-based. For Snow Day, there's a lot of times where there's a bunch of actions that we had to do, like a bunch of series of actions and stuff that were really complicated, like running up to a snowplow, and then we have to jump on it a certain way and grab a robot bird. So it got
This is
really-
getting more and more interesting.
We're getting the details.
We've got snow plows, robot birds.
Yeah. And,
Oh my gosh.
that was all in one take. So, even all of that was mostly script based, so there wasn't that much improv, which kind of helped me a little bit, but it was still a little bit difficult with that.
I feel like this is perfect evidence on why, because acting coaches always say it's like it's so important to just know how to give great reactions as an actor.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is exactly proof in the pudding right here on why, because they're like, react. So
I got a question too, coming in from the darkness again. What was something when you first jumped on set, either with Odd Squad or Homeschooled, what was something that you weren't expecting when you jumped on set, that you've been trained and everything you prepped for as in your acting? When you jumped on set, you're like, oh, this is a big learning curve I got to kind of overcome. What was there anything like that for you?
Yeah, with Snow Day, especially, I wasn't expecting the director to be so nice.
Okay.
I definitely thought, since it's a movie and the studio is really big, and also the work that the director has done before, I was definitely expecting the environment to be a little more strict, but it was actually really welcoming, and I feel like I need to learn to not judge the environment of a set or anything. I feel like I definitely need to start trusting the sets a little bit more with how their environment is, and I definitely encourage other actors to do this as well, because a lot of the sets are really nice, so they'll always try to make it as nice for you as possible, a nice experience. So
It's interesting you say that, because I feel like that's what a lot of people who are new to the industry focus on. And I don't know if we have like Simon Cowell to blame or what, but a lot of people assume when you go and get in front of an agent or a casting director that they're going to be mean.
yeah.
Right? Or shout at you or short and that sort of thing. And from my experience, there's been a handful of times where you might have caught somebody at the wrong time or a bad day, whatever. But I have to say, for the most part, my experiences have been really positive. So I'm very happy to hear that you've had positive experiences too. And I think that's one of the things that I think is important for new people coming into the industry to understand and wrap their head around is you are the answer to their problem. They need an actor.
Exactly.
You are an actor, and they want you to be the right fit. If you are the right fit, then you have solved their problem, and they can stop looking, And I had a really hard time with that, especially when I was first starting out. I just assumed that everyone was, cutthroat or out to get you or what have you. And I had nothing but really positive experiences too. So I'm happy to hear that. It kind of gives you, empowers you to have a little bit more fun and to let your hair down. And when you can do that, then you're so much more free in the script and in the character and with your fellow actors. So that's great.
Yeah.
I see it where it's like good people surround each other with good people.
Yes.
So, and a lot of people in this industry are good people. So, it's kind of like a job interview, right? At the end of the day, it's like, at the end of the day, like you could be an actor, like hit your mark, say your lines, great. But am I going to enjoy the 95% of it outside, or do I enjoy you? You know what I mean? So with that mindset, I feel like it's very freeing.
Have you had any awkward experiences with people recognizing you or any of that sort of thing yet?
Not really awkward, but recently when I was in an acting class, another person in the class recognized me from Homeschooled, and that was a pretty interesting experience. It wouldn't be what I would expect someone to recognize me from, but, and I have had some people approach me at school about Odd Squad or a commercial that I've been in. So I think that's it's a nice experience. It can get awkward, but
Yeah. Have your teachers been understanding about, sometimes you need to leave and take some time off school or get to an audition or get to set or get to a fitting?
Yeah, they've been pretty understanding. in the 8th grade, which was when I was filming Snow Day, it definitely helped that my teachers were really understanding with putting things online, because I was on set for like half the year, so it definitely helped with that. Yeah.
Good.
I also just want to comment on that. I feel like I should just get a microphone at this point. But when I was on Nickelodeon, I was gone for half a year too, and I found that I was away from all my friends at school, and at the time the project was really hush-hush and couldn't really talk about
Yeah.
it. So did you have to balance that with your friends? And I don't know if it was the same precautions where you kind of had to keep it on the down low, you couldn't spoil anything. Was there any sort of dynamic coming back to school that was different because you were away for so long?
Yeah, it was kind of different because I missed a lot of the year. So, yeah, especially it was kind of difficult with some of my friends who are really invested in what I do. It was kind of hard keeping it from them. But eventually they got to watch the movie, and they figured out why I was away so long. But they were pretty understanding that it had to be hush-hush.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing. I know, we had a cloud go across on this. It was like, yeah, it's, I think that's one of the hardest things is kind of maintaining that balance between your friendships with, you've got people that are really rooting for you.
Yeah.
Have you had any negative experiences with people really hating on you for it or being discouraging?
Not necessarily discouraging, but as I said before about some people not being too, like they don't want to talk about it as much, which is fine, I can respect that. But I haven't had too negative experiences about it, no.
Good. That's actually very nice to hear. Usually people are like, oh, yeah, well, this person did this to me or whatever. So I'm happy to hear that. It's nice to hear. So what are your plans for the future? Are you going to continue to study is this something you want to pursue in terms of like college or?
I think I'm just going to continue doing acting like I have on the side and focus a little bit more on my education and keep having a good balance of both.
Do you want to go to school for acting or do you have other interests? What are you kind of thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking animation.
Ooh, cool.
And I'm interested maybe in going into screenwriting as well or something like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. So kind of staying within the realm, but not directly
Yeah,
acting.
yeah.
It's great. Good for you. Diversifying your talents. Cool. Well, so just before we go, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're working on now? What are you kind of hoping for the future here?
Yeah, so I actually have two things I'm working on now. I'm filming a short film. I'm making it, and
Wow.
with one of my friends who's acting in it.
Fantastic.
And
Cool.
yeah.
Now,
so,
did you screenwrite?
I didn't. It's yes, I wrote the script for it. I don't know. I didn't put too much effort into it because it's 3 minutes.
Okay, great.
So it's a relatively short script. It fits around 1 or 2 pages, but yeah, it's for a local contest for youth short films.
Nice.
And yeah, that'll definitely be a nice experience to do. And I also have a voiceover project coming up, probably in 1 to 2 years, I think. It's for a preschool cartoon. I can't say much more, but I'm definitely excited for that.
Amazing. Good for you. So is this part of what's kind of prompted your interest in animation, or have you always been interested in animation?
I've been interested in animation for a really long time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. And you've done some other voiceover work, correct?
No.
Or this is your first time going
This is
into
my first time, yeah.
Nice. Exciting. So you're jumping in feet first. I
Yeah.
love it. Very good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Logan.
Yeah, no
and we
problem.
are so proud of you. Please keep up the good work. And thank you to your awesome family as well for sharing you with us. And any last words of advice for any actors out there?
Yeah, just keep on going and don't let anything get to you too much. And don't let it don't like the casting directors and stuff. They don't make any personal decisions. It's all because of it could be because of a technical thing. It's not always because of your performance. So don't take anything too much to the heart.
Very good. It reminds me of the 4 agreements. Don't take anything personal.
Yeah.
That's really great advice.
It is. It is such. It's and you know what? It's interesting that we've heard this theme over and over again. When you just simply focus on tasks and don't take things personally, things are so much more fruitful.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, well, congratulations on all of your success. We can't wait to see and share. Make sure you keep watching all of our social media. You'll see us posting much more about Mr. Logan Aultman. And thank you for being here.
Thank
all
you for
right.
having
Thank
me.
you, Adam, for being here as well. And thank you, Adam, for running sound. Other Adam. All right. That's it for this week's podcast. We look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Make sure you subscribe.